I knew that was going to be paused. I realised as the music was playing that the speaker was on. This happened to Chris the other day on Thursday when he did his live, and he said, "Oh, I was clearing my throat." I don't understand because it was. I just put my ear pods in and it unmiked. So I don't think I was talking to myself or anything, but hello and welcome everybody. It's lovely to see so many people here waiting already. I hope you're all doing okay. I'm just going to do the usual roll call and say hello and welcome everybody. So first one in today was Ramon. Hello Ramon, nice to see you. And then the lovely Celia. Hello Celia. Happy Saturday to you. And then Rob. Hi Rob. Caroline. Hello Caroline. And then we've got Lily Rose, we've got Tass, Gemstones, Sandra, hello Sandra, Mike, hi Mike, and we have the English Witch in France, nice to see you, the lovely Patrice, how are you doing Patrice, Douglas, hello Douglas, Maharet, and Kim, hello Kim, nice to see you, welcome, and Jack, we've got Kelly, and long-haired skinny eye toe. We've got Yasamin, and Fancy. Well, we'll call you Gina. Uh, Fancy Fascinations, Gina. Nice to see you. Laurie, Nicole. And we have Tortoiseshell Moon. Now, I've been calling you Michelle for like the longest time. I don't think you've corrected me, but we was in somebody else's chat the other day and someone referred to you as Kathy. So I don't know where I got Tortoiseshell Moon, sorry, Michelle from for your name. So I apologise. And you put there, love from Kathy. So I'll try, that should stick now anyway. And then we've got Sarah, Redwing. Celia, you've retracted a comment. Just scrolling down, see if there's anybody else I've not already said. We've got Robin here and Anne. Hello to both of you. Nicole and Maruta. Hello, Maruta. And Mr. I'm not quite sure how you would pronounce that. Mr. Sight. I don't know how you'd pronounce that, but hello to you anyway. I'll just call you Mr. Laura, Laurie, Jenna. Hello, Jenna, and congratulations on winning Kelly Bear's Magical Forest giveaway. It was all whoop whooping and shouting when your name was called. Anyone else in UK suffered the dreadful head cold during the round? No, but I'm still in agony with my shoulder. So what I was going to say is I don't know if it will be a full 90 minutes tonight like I usually do. I'm just going to have to play it by ear because today it just isn't normally the painkillers that I'm on. By now, I'm normally in this because by now I've taken six painkillers. I take eight. I'm in that kind of, oh, it's okay. Which since I've been taking them means I've been getting a good night's sleep, which I haven't had for 2 weeks. So that is a plus. But today it is really painful, and I'm sitting here and I can already feel it, the pressure of it. So, um, yeah, we'll see how we go. I will stay as long as I can, but it might not be the full 90 minutes tonight. Um, Kim, hello Kim, and Forever We're After, and then we've got everybody saying hello, which is lovely. Moira, Laurie, Butterfly, hello Butterfly, Lily Rose, and I think I've caught up. So, how's everybody doing? Have we all got a cuppa? I've just realised this is probably the first kind of solo cuppa catch-up in cards, certainly this year, but since before Christmas, because obviously I did the one with Jenna for Christmas, which was the Christmas special, the Christmas cuppa catch-up in cards. And then I was away over Christmas and New Year because they fell on Saturdays fell on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And then I did the Boxing Day bash with Chris last week. Yeah, so this is like the first one in quite some time. Um, did you get injured? Well, now I'm wondering because um, I mean, if you've been around for a while, you'll know that because I've mentioned many times, I've got spinal damage, which I've had since 2001, which flares up a lot, and it does affect usually this arm, my right arm, from the shoulder, and my lower back. And this is on this shoulder, but on the 31st of December, and this is where it gets complicated because I can remember this date, but not what I'm about to tell you. I woke up in the morning and you know how you just think, oh, I've slept funny and I've got a stiff shoulder. We all get that, don't we? But it's not gone away. In fact, it's got worse. Um, but it wasn't until yesterday I was at work with a friend. I say I'm at work with a friend, somebody who volunteers for us, but I've known him 35, 36 years now. And he said, well, you haven't bashed your shoulder at any point, have you? And I was like, no, no. And I thought, oh, hold on a minute. And then I remembered, but I can't pinpoint when it happened. But I do remember getting up in the night to go to the loo, because it happens at a certain age. And I don't put the lights on because I know my way around my apartment, but I miscalculated the door. And as I rushed out the door, bashed against the door frame. So whether that has done it, but I can't remember what that when that was, because I didn't associate the two. I kind of went, oh, when it happened, and then went back to bed. And because I just woke up with this and just think, well, this is just an ongoing pain like I always get. So this has gone on for 2 weeks, and on Thursday I couldn't bear it anymore. So, and they're trying to get a GP appointment in the UK at the moment with everything that's going on, the health service and everything else. It's just a nightmare. But I did get put on triage. I did get the doctor to call me back, and he prescribed me painkillers because I've been taking 400 mg ibuprofen, which wasn't touching it. So he's put me on strong painkillers, and I've got to take 8 a day, 4 times a day. And I've got an appointment on Thursday to see a physiotherapist. However, I'm going to have to say to the physiotherapist now, before he starts doing anything, that, what it could be a hairline fracture or something like that. I don't know. But it comes all the way up into the back of my neck and all the way down this side and all the way down here. It's just really painful. And it does, if you suffer from constant nagging pain, it really does debilitate you and it makes you feel very down sometimes. So I've been feeling quite sorry for myself. And when it's really flaring up, which tends to be in the mornings, like yesterday morning, I can't concentrate on anything. I'm pacing. So, yeah, it's just, we'll get to the bottom of it, but it could take some time. Let's just scroll back to make sure I've not missed anything. People are saying congratulations to Jenna. Jenna was so surprised. Yeah, I will take it easy. Have you got a healing pad? No. This afternoon I went for a hot bath, and that helped for a little bit. But it's when you get up again. And funnily enough, when I'm moving around, it's not too bad. I've been talking because the doctor was saying that out of 10, what would you give it, in the mornings? And in the mornings, it's an easy 9. It is agony. But as I go into the evenings, it goes down to about a 4 or 5. And I'm like, oh, okay. Um, but as I'm walking around, so I've been, walking with the dogs, I use this arm for the lead, and just doing stuff. Like I moved my front room around last week because I couldn't sit where I was sitting because it was leaning into it. So I rearranged all my furniture. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen I put pictures of like the new room configuration. And it wasn't hurting. Um, so it's different points, but the worst is in the morning because I've laid all night in one position. Anyway, enough about pain and suffering. Um, oh, Elizabeth's been dealing with flu for the last 13 days. The flu this time is really bad, isn't it? You know, I don't understand it. I don't understand science a lot of the time, but everybody's saying, well, it's because of COVID, because it was suppressed for 2 years, that it's kind of come back with a vengeance. And again, it's one of the reasons why the NHS over here at the moment is in crisis. And even though the Prime Minister is refusing to say it's in crisis, it is in crisis. There are people in ambulances in the car parks being treated because they can't actually get in because there's no room in the hospitals. I've heard cases about somebody spending 48 hours on a trolley because there's no beds. It's, it's like a third world country. A lady of 91 sat for 24 hours in a chair in A&E. Just appalling stories. And it's our poor frontline NHS workers must be going through hell. Imagine having to go into that every day as a job when you chose a career where you wanted to help people. But we've still got 2 years till we can change this government. Anyway, just going to get the comments open because I didn't have them open on there, and there could be people in Facebook the Facebook group that I'm missing as well. So if you are in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group and you've been commenting and I've ignored you, I can see Richie Longmantaro. So hello, Richie. He's in the Facebook group at the moment. So nice to see you as well. And I forgot what I was saying. You need an X-ray. Yeah, I think they will probably. And the doctor said, if it doesn't get any better, they can do X-rays and all that sort of stuff. They also need to check my heart. Now, I'm pretty certain it's not my heart, but the earliest I can have my bloods taken and have my checks is the 7th of February. So, but they have to rule everything out. So no alcohol for a while, wishing you feel better. Yeah, I only have alcohol at Christmas or birthdays or very special occasions. 29th of January, it's my friend's birthday, and we're going to a cocktail bar in the afternoon, just for a couple. But that's, yeah, hopefully I'm not still on painkillers by then. But so that's like arthritis and rotator cuff in shoulder, physical therapy, and days you will start feeling better. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but hopefully the professionals will. Constant pain is dreadful. Yeah, it is. Jenna's been down in the mouth with a ton of many scissors, many. Sorry, I can't. I've not seen that word before. A torn meniscus. Meniscus. Appointment is Wednesday with the orthopedics. Oh, well, I hope you can get that sorted. He says like he knows what it is. I think I've just showed that I didn't know what it was. But anything that's torn is painful. Hello, Beth. Nice to see you. And Vanessa and everybody else that's come in. Vintage Moon. Just to have a moan. Still waiting on Every to deliver 2 decks. Every have one since Christmas. No updates, no communications. Yeah, Every aren't great. They used to be Hermes. But did you? If I don't know if people have seen the video I put on this morning, showing this lovely. No, that's not the right one. I'm grabbing the wrong one. This beautiful fountain pen, this Pilot fountain pen, that has been sent by Kate from Kate's Fountain Pen Awakening. she sent me this for my birthday in October from Australia, and it came yesterday. So it's taken 3 months to get here. I've just noticed it still says Cartomancy Cave in the corner from last week. Let's swap that. There we go. That's funny. Um, yeah, so again, I think it has a knock-on effect because even though Every isn't Royal Mail, because Royal Mail have had all the strikes, people have been using delivery services and couriers more. So therefore, there's been, that knock-on effect. But I'm sure it will come. I was convinced that that wasn't going to come. After 3 months, I thought, well, I think that's the longest I've ever waited for a parcel. Um, but it turned up, so I'm really pleased. However, Ruin Vervain, which is an Oracle deck that was sent to me in August, hasn't turned up. And I think it was the beginning of December, they sent out a replacement, and that hasn't turned up either. So I'm like, oh, it's just a really difficult time at the moment. And that's why when Jenna and I did the Christmas Cuppa Catch Up and Cards, I said I'm going to wait till the new year to post it out because everybody's posting at Christmas time. So that was sent last Saturday. I haven't heard from Ange, but it's only been a week, so we'll see. But inland, it's been really good. I sent a parcel to Kelly Bear for her birthday, and that got there the next day. I sent one to Sandra, that got there the next day. So inland, it's not been too bad. Just had COVID. Oh, well, I hope you're feeling better now, Laura, and you've not had too many after effects or long-lasting effects. Did people quit working in the NHS after COVID? Hello, Calla, by the way. It's not so much that, it's all to do with us leaving the EU. Lots of migrant workers that had come into the country have left. Not necessarily forced out, although I'm sure there's been issues with visas and things like that as well. Um, but we have a show over here called Question Time, which is on a Thursday night. And this Thursday coming, it's all about the NHS crisis. They have like a panel and they have an audience and they take questions. And the panel of politicians from all the different parties, as well as kind of like media people. But they were saying the other day that there's over 30,000 vacancies. And when it comes to doctors, 1 in 8 posts are vacant. And it's just buckling under the pressure, really. So, yeah. And the striking as well. But everybody's striking in the UK at the moment. Transport is striking, mail is striking, NHS is striking. We're hearing now there's going to be education strikes. It's just dire here. But I don't want to go on about that because it's really depressing. Um, just looking to see if there's, because I'm a bit behind in the chat, I'm just looking to see if there's any tagged questions or comments. Oh, Jenna tore a ligament in her knee, so that's what that was. That's painful. It's in the knee joint. Thank you, long hair. And thank you to everybody saying, hope I feel better soon. Kay said, I had shoulder surgery three times for a skating accident. I feel your pain. Yeah, and you don't realise just the amount of thing. I mean, even looking here, well, no, it's just the position. I'm like, it feels like it's, but you don't realise how much it affects everything. The worst is when I'm in the car because when you get in the car, we get in obviously on the right hand side, and I have to twist my neck to get into the car, and that hurts, and getting out of the car really hurts. But not only that, when you get to a junction, so there's one particular junction that I come off the motorway when I'm going to work, and I come up to a huge island, and I have to look right to see if anything's coming. And I couldn't do it. This one particular day, it was that bad, I couldn't look right. Luckily, it's two lanes. So I waited for this lorry to go start pulling out, and I thought, well, if he can go, I can go. So I kind of left when he left and then turned left. But it's just things like that. It's just, uh, just okay. Let's talk about something a little bit more fun. What's NHS? NHS is the National Health Service. So unless you choose to go private, our healthcare is free in this country. Well, nothing's free, is it? Um, Even though it's classed as free at the point of needing that service. We pay a national insurance, so it's deducted from salary. Unless we have our own business, then you pay it. But there's a national insurance contribution each month out your paycheck. Just like our tax, we don't do our own tax returns in this country. Again, unless you've got your own business, it's pay pay as you earn, and that's the same. So you pay national insurance and you pay tax, and your national insurance goes towards NHS and your pension and things like that, state pension. But if you require medical assistance, then it's covered by the NHS. So most of the hospitals are NHS hospitals. So if you break your arm, it doesn't cost you anything to have it, plastered and repaired. Operations don't cost you anything. If you're involved in an accident, NHS is free at the point of use. So uh, Beth says, we in the US can empathize with national woes. We all got to provide one another with emotional support, I think. I agree. Um, and I think everybody's feeling the pinch. We're certainly feeling it over here. I've been saying for 2 years now, and there's always a reason that I want to come to the States, and that is something I'm still aiming for. But with the way things are going, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it because, I'm a single income home. There's only me here. And everything is just skyrocketing. And I don't just mean going up a little bit. I mean, like, energy bills like are doubling and tripling, and the price of food, fuel for the car, everything is just skyrocketing. And there's so many people now that are, living below what we call, kind of like a living standard. So people can't afford to heat their homes. They can't afford to have 3 meals a day. It's just really bad. So, yeah, anyway, uh, I'm not quite sure um, why Vanessa's been hidden. Oh, she's been unhidden. Okay, that's good. I just read the message that was gone, and I thought, no, that's okay. Um, yes, I can raise my arm, Moonlight, and actually, sometimes that's the most comfortable position. It's the weight of the arm that hurts. So a lot of the times I sit like that because that releases. So I sit like that, and actually it starts to lessen, and then I pull it down again, and it starts. But I can't sit talking to you like that all night. So the movement is okay. It's I don't know what it is. Just had nurses strike in New York. I think it's over now. Yeah, well, our nurses, they haven't, is it three, how many hundred, so many 100 years since we've had nurses strike. It almost seems, and ambulance workers are going on strike now as well. and there was a strike on Thursday, which is just worrying because I mean it's already broken, and they were saying that if you're uh, if you have a heart attack or a stroke, it's up to 4 hours wait. Because even though they go on strike, there's a minimum service they still have to provide. So everybody on Thursday was like, oh, please don't let me or anybody in my family need an ambulance today because, yeah, it's worrying. And the government are now trying to pass a law to, make sure that striking isn't that easy if you're classed as like essential. Life or limb, they're calling it. Um, Arm overhead, we don't mind your relaxing poses. Thank you, Robin. Um, okay, so what have I got to tell you? I just thought it would be. I hadn't really planned anything because I haven't done a couple of catch-up cards since probably middle or beginning of December. Because when Jenna and I went live, that was kind of middle of December, wasn't it? I think that was like the 17th, 16th, 17th, something like that. If you've seen my post on um, the Hermes Cave Facebook group, do you recall that I showed this deck, which is the Phantom Wise? This was the deck that Chris showed last week when we did our live, this time last week, when we showed our Christmas decks. And there were three decks that he showed that I really like. And I can't get them all, so I've just added them to my wish list. And I thought I'll probably get one a month or something like that. And it's a black and white deck, and I've edged it in a blood red. So it's actually called Crimson. I almost went with a pillar box red, like a bright cherry red. And then I thought, no, actually, a crimson I think would be better because, of it being a black and white deck, I don't want something really bright. So it's like a really nice, and I'm really glad I did it because Chris messaged saying, somebody left a comment saying they enjoyed our chat. And it was a dual live, so it was live through his channel, live through my channel at the same time. And they left a comment on my version, on about the decks and how they liked it. And I left a comment saying, I've ordered the Phantom Wise. And Chris said, well, what are you going to edge that? And I said, I think there's only really one option, isn't there? Thinking black. But actually, I just thought, actually, red would be really cool. And as I mentioned when I did the walkthrough, because this isn't based on the Night Circus, but what was uncanny is this deck was being painted at the same time as the Night Circus 20 years ago was being written. So I think it influenced. And in the Night Circus, it's a very monochrome world, and even the big top is black and white stripes. But on the book, there's these flashes of red. So it's black and white with these flashes of red. And so I kind of wanted to recreate that as well. And it looks really nice even when fanned. I don't know, it would look beautiful edged in black. And I did this back in 2016 with the Tower of Vampires, the Ian Daniels one. Ian Daniels? Have I said that name right? I almost said Phil Daniels, but he's the actor that was in Quadrophenia. I think it's Ian Daniels. And I really liked how that turned out, but that did have a red rose on the back, but anyway, I like it. What do you guys think? I think we're all going to do that, Caroline. What, are you going to edge it in red? Is that what Caroline said? Let's go back because I've been yakking there. I know that arm overhead relief. Do you, Deanne? You experienced it as well. It's almost like a drain in a way, isn't it, the pain? But then if you leave it there too long, it then starts to, and then you have to put it down. Sandra says, yes, love it. When I get that deck, I'm going to edge in red. Are those wood tarot pieces in a box on your desk? Sorry, are those wood tarot pieces in a box on your desk? I've got in my drawer here, I've got a drawer that has everything that's like divination tools that aren't cards. So, for instance, I have dominoes, and these are fake ivory, but they feel just like ivory, but they're not. And they've got the spinner on them, which I find really good for divination. And then I have, I've got a bit of string because it's a drawer. I have these rune cubes that I bought from Witches and Wizards on holiday last year. A set of large wood elder, though I always get me, Fothark throwing dice runes. They're only $10.99, a tenner. I really like them, so they're in that drawer as well. And then, what else do I have? I love this bag. I bought this in Avebury the first time I went back in 2018. I have my Ogham staves. That's just a few of them. It's a full set of Ogham staves. Now, they were expensive, but I love them. Look at the inside of the bag. So I've got my Ogham staves there. And then I have a set of regular runes. I've got a big wooden box with runes in as well, and they're the ones that are from Glastonbury, where the runes are from the trees, naturally falling branches from around the tour. So they're really, really special. They're down under my little coffee table. I have dice. And then I have my Urim and Thummim. So Urim and Thummim is just yes-no stones. So you ask the question, they're both exactly the same. The difference is one is black, the other is white. Okay? And you can attribute yes, no, or whatever you want to attribute to them. And then I think this is what you're referring to, which, little bits of incense from the bottom of the drawer, which are the tarot tiles. Yeah? Is that what you're referring to? These are the 1909 Jamie Sawyer tarot tiles. And they're all in this bag here. So I think that's what you're referring to. Put that there. Put everything back. Let's go back to the comments. I have one that's been half edged for 3 months now, Karmic Tarot, and it's all yellow. Wow, I find edging in yellow quite difficult. So you'd have to let me know what pen you use, because I've used a Winsor & Newton before, but it wasn't very strong. It wasn't the rich kind of sunflower yellow that I was hoping for. Thank you, Amanda. Hello, Amanda, by the way. Show us your new pen, Satan. Calla, I just showed it. You might not have been in the room. The one that I got from the lovely Katie It's a pilot. It's got this nice design. Medium nib. She also gave me lots of options for filling it. She put a little squeezy one. She put an empty cartridge so I can use a syringe to fill it up, although I can't find my syringes anywhere. Syringes anywhere. I don't know where I've put them. Yeah, as well as an ink cartridge and things. And then she put a little tiny bit of the honey ink, which she knew that I was quite keen on getting. Red was a great choice. Ian Daniels was right. It was Phil Daniels in Quadrophenia. I thought so, Kathy. What else was he in? He was in Breaking Glass as well, the Hazel O'Connor film. Loved that. And then he made an appearance in the 90s in the Blur video, didn't he? Part Life. String is underrated. I've left it out because I'm like, why is there just a random piece of string there? If I disappear, it's because data connection out here is choppy. Oh, Ange, I was just talking about you. Have they arrived yet by any chance? I know it's only a week since I sent them last Saturday, but do let me know if they come. Dominoes for divination. Yeah, I've even got a little book on domino divination. Is it that one? I might have moved it into the hall, into the bookcase on the hall, but over your right shoulder, on the right end of your desk. Oh, these are the little witchy hats that Angelo sent, but there's no. Oh, these are dominoes. These are also dominoes, large wooden carved dominoes that I got when I visited Becca once in Oxfordshire. Try not to burn myself on that candle. Yeah, it's a set of dominoes. I like your OM staves. I suppose you don't do tea leaves. No, I don't read tea leaves. I don't know how to read tea leaves. Mind you, I don't think there's an exact science because I did watch somebody once, and there was something like, what was it that? Oh, that looks like a car. I think you're going on a journey. I was like, does it look like a car? I think Forever We're After is talking about on your desk, Simon, over your right shoulder. Yes, Scrabble pieces to form words. I haven't got that, but what I have got are the story cubes as well. They're quite. Let me grab them. Don't know if you've seen them, story cubes. They're quite cool for using to cast with as well. You throw them down, and they've all got. Each one has got a little, all six sides. So once you lay them together, you kind of rearrange them, or if you're casting them, try and make a story out of them, or a message or something. So they're quite cool, story cubes. Yellow Prismacolor alcohol marker. I can go grab it and see what the colour is. I did the Radiant Sun Oracle, and it dries okay, does it? Yeah, Robin's wondering which marker to use for ivy-coloured cards. Because Robin's got the blonde, the old fellow blonde, haven't you? And you was thinking of Facebook user, evening all, bit late to the party, sorry. Whoever you are, hello, welcome, or if you want to put what your name is, because it's not been linked to your account, but welcome. Robin, you made me dig out as well, because I've got my old fellow revived, which I love, but she also sent me the old fellow revived in the bridge size on linen cardstock. Oh, and I love it. Morning, says Facebook user. Somebody, it's obviously in the States because it's morning. I love this deck. And when I saw Robin talking about how he liked the size of it, I thought, yeah, I'm going to dig my bridge size one out because it's such a fantastic deck. This is on MPC. It uses a Marseille style art, but it follows RWS. So if you like the style of Marseille, but you can't read pips, you don't have to worry. Here's the 3 of Wands. And I've got the full tarot size and also this one in the linen, which is the bridge size. But Robin's trying to find the right sort of pen to edge his deck in. What I would probably use is a Timothy Holt. I don't know if you use ink pads at all, because Timothy Holt's do like an aged paper and things like that, which is quite nice. Good morning from Australia. Oh, so not America. So yes, if you want to put your name, that would be great because it's just coming up as Facebook user. Let me show you. So we've got Facebook user in Australia, and then there's a Facebook user here that says evening all, bit late to the party, sorry. But both welcome. One in the evening, one in the morning. Oh, and here is Dee Dee. You're on the big telly. Oh, have I got an audience? Hello, everybody. Everybody in Seattle, nice to see you. I forgot what I was even talking about now. It's the pressure of knowing that I'm on a big telly. It's Deb from Aussie. Well, hello, Deb from Aussie, and welcome. Oh, it's moving that fast. And then we've got Dawn Wyatt. Hello, Dawn. And then I'm not good at this, am I? I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. Just a bit of riffraff from Knots, to be real. Do you remember at the beginning of this live, I said that my friend of 36 years said, had you bashed your shoulder? And that was that moment. I was like, actually, now you mention it. Speaking of which, oh, hello, Tony. So that is my friend. And the reason why I know it's because he's an ABBA fan. I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. He's trying to be all cryptic, you see. And just a bit of riffraff. When I did the Rocky Horror Show, which you've also heard me mention, in 87 and 88, and I played Frank. You wouldn't believe it now, but I did. I played Frank. Tony played riffraff. So, yeah, so he's here in Knots and is my friend of 36 years. So do say hello to Tony and give him a welcome. Because he said to me actually the other day, he said, oh, I saw you live, but is in Facebook, so he only sees a few people. There's actually 123 people here at the minute, rather than YouTube. And I said, oh, you should have said hello. You know, if you said hello, I would have welcomed you. So, yeah, one of my oldest friends. So, hello, Tony. Right, where else? Where was I up to with the comments? So, oh, and Jen's here. Hello from the other one watching on the big telly. Gosh, beaming across the world into someone's living room in Seattle. No pressure. ABBA, says Calla. ABBA. And then people saying it's probably not going to see it in Facebook, so I will put the comments up. So we've got ABBA, and then Sandra says hello, Tony. Vintage Moon says hi, Tony. Tricia says hello, Jen. To Jen, who's and Moran is here. Hello, Moran. Moran saying hello, Tony. Didn't see you come in. Sorry if I missed you. And then Gina is saying hello, Tony. Uh, Hi Simon, can you see me? I can, but I don't know who you are. So in the Facebook Hermit's Cave group, if you go into a live, just before you go in, you have to give Facebook permission to use your name, and then it will display your name rather than Facebook user. Um, because that's what Richie did. That's why we could see that it was Richie who was in the Facebook group. Or jump onto YouTube and join in with the other 126 people who are here. Oh, it's Scylla. Hello, Scylla. Sorry, I didn't remember to do that. That's all right. Lovely to see you, Scylla. I shared your um, judgment card for because it's Judgment Week in the Hermit's Cave this week, and your judgment card from Shimmering Veil is my favourite judgment card ever. So I shared that this week. Oh, Elle says, "Big up, Tony." Oh dear. So yeah, the other thing that I wanted to mention as well, I was really touched this week because if you remember, um, middle of last year, um, end of May, beginning of June, we lost Poppy in the community. Giselle's here. Hello, Giselle. So many lovely people popping in and saying hello. Um, and Jane, who was a childhood friend of Poppy's, has had the unenviable task, really, of clearing out the house. Um, and she contacted me, oh gosh, probably it was before Christmas, um, to say that she wanted to send me a couple of books because um, she thought Poppy would want me to have them. Um, and so they arrived this week, which I was just thrilled about. And what's really interesting is that one of the books, which is this one, Soul Resurgence, is one that I had ordered because it's one that I've been wanting to get. I've got a couple of the books anyway, but one that I've been wanting to get for a long time. And the seller obviously got wind of it and said, "Oh, I can't send it anymore. I don't have it," or something. And then it went back on at like 5 times the price, which is just disgusting when people do that. And Jane said, "Do you want Soul Surgeons?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "There's a couple of other books that I'm going to send." So she's also sent The Greening. That's a chunky book. And also Wild Spirituality, which is another book that I've been looking at. An inspirational guide by Poppy Palin. So I was really, really chuffed. But what was really lovely is that Jane messaged me to say that the books were on the way, but Poppy collected buttons, and she had them lots of buttons everywhere in jars, and things like that. And she said, she got a jiffy bag, which is this one, and she put the books in. And as she went to put the books in, there was this little button that got into the bag. And she's like, "I honestly don't know how it got there because it wasn't there. I brought the jiffy bag and went to put the books in, and there's a little button there." So she said, "So I'm sending it you because I think you meant to have that button." So I'm going to keep that. I've got a little pot on my desk which has some little stones in, earthy stones and things like that, petrified wood, and I'm going to keep it in that little pot. So yeah, I was very touched. I thought I was being clever. I'll know for next time. I'm feeling all bigged up. Evening all. Tony here. Thanks for the welcome. You're welcome, Tony. All bigged up. That was RL. Madwet says, hi, darlings. How are you, Giselle? How are you doing? It's lovely to have you here. I know time's not your own much at the moment, but it's lovely that you've been able to find some time and join us. So, um, just scrolling through to see if uh, Sweet Poppy, I was thinking about her, and then you shared those lovely books. Yeah, I think we do think of her from time to time. I don't know if, how many people from the community was able to attend the funeral because it was you could attend via video stream. I know Becca attended when I attended, but yeah, she's left a mark. So anyway, of the three books, um, just because you can still get them. Some are out of print now, but they come up on eBay as long as you're not being ripped off. But I think there's still some that you can get. This one isn't a very lengthy book. It's only 115 pages, which will do me fine. But I'm really, it's always been a subject that has fascinated me. And so it's called Soul Resurgence, A Guide to Reincarnation. Um, and it says this book explores the possibility that the soul is the eternal self or spirit essence, which has the capability to incarnate travel through incarnate life cycles in a flesh vehicle or human body. It looks at the nature, origins, and purpose of soul in comparison to the bodies or masks that it chooses to wear whilst in the world. Soul Resurgence contains simple techniques and methods for the reader to gain their own personal understanding of both their own eternal self and the reasons why it has chosen various bodily guises through time. Reincarnation is discussed in terms of it being a renewal or movement towards growth as opposed to a linear ascension into a universally defined perfection. The purpose of becoming incarnate in order to learn how to become the best sort of soul that you can be, given your type, is put forward as a central issue. It is a book which promotes new ways of seeing your own unique part in the web of existence, stemming from the spiritual premise, we are one another. And they all have her fantastic artwork. And lots of people will, particularly in our community, will know Poppy because of her tarot decks, Wild Spirit, and Everyday Enchantment, and her incredible work. But, let's not forget that she's an author as well. I mean, the amount of information in this, and that really comes through if you buy her tarot decks, because I've got obviously it's called Stories of the Wild Spirit, which accompanied the Wild Spirit Tarot. But even if you buy the kit from Red Feather for Everyday Enchantment, the book that comes with that deck is one of the best books, companion books, because it gives you all the meanings and keywords and everything else, but it gives you a story for each of the cards, and you only have to look at the images in Everyday Enchantment to see that it really is a story that's being told, but how she writes the story for each of those 78 cards. Yeah. So, Wild Spirituality is Journey to the Green Heart of Being, and the greening is The Rise of Fairy Tide. That's beautiful. And this one is 518 pages. So, me that can probably read one book a year due to time and ADD, I'll start with this one and see how we go. But I've got time, as much as we all think we've got time. Um, the button is meant to go on your string. Oh, so Mr. You're Bobby. Nice to meet you, Bobby. I'm not sure if it will thread on that string because this string is quite thick and coarse, whereas the holes on the buttons are quite small. So, oh, how lovely, special treasure. Yeah, yeah, it is. And I love things like that, where um, there's not really much of an explanation or an accountability for it, so you just go with it. Um, okay, so I've done an hour. I think I'm okay. I'm okay, so I'm going to carry on a little bit, but I haven't really got anything else to show. So for the next, and I'll do a card pull. We'll use this one. I'll do a card pull at the end. But because it's been a while, I never really, if you've got any questions or anything that you want to ask, there's 131 people here. If there's anything you want to ask, then pop it in capitals and we'll have a bit of just a chat and a Q&A for the remainder of the time. Sandra thinks she has three of her books, and they're really good. Uh, any news on if Waking the Wild Spirit will be republished, says Trisha. I don't know. I'd be surprised because they'd have to reissue um, the original deck, which isn't the version that Poppy was happy about. So if you watched her channel, she was going through the process before she passed of redoing each card. Um, and she didn't know how long it was going to take. Well, obviously that project never got finished. So possibly, but it wasn't. And I know that Schiffer Red Feather, when she passed, I contacted them and they said that, in a few months' time, we want to do something to, commemorate Poppy and do something that would, just kind of celebrate her. So I wondered what that might be, or whether it's going to be a different printing of Everyday Enchantment, because they'll have the rights to that because they are the publisher. I think Wild Spirit was Llewellyn, I want to say. I think it was originally published by Llewellyn. Could be wrong. Um, what ink is in the new pen, Simon? So I was sent this, which is Van Diemen's, and it's Leatherwood Honey. Leatherwood Honey, um, which is beautiful. In fact, I haven't put it away yet. It's that colour ink there. This is really nice ink. I'm very imaginative, aren't I, when I write? This is very nice ink. Um, uh, have you gotten Tarot des Ambiguities? Mine just arrived. Why does that sound familiar? I probably have to look at live Tarot des Ambiguities. Um, Tarot des Ambiguities. Wow, why is that? I think let me have a look at um Libib. Have I got it on my iPad as well? No, I don't. I don't know. I got it on my iPad. My phone is right over there. Um, install now. No, later. Um, I disagree. Help! I've lost everybody. I've lost her on the chat. Oh, there we go. Um, people are on about gods. Artisan Tarot's new deck. Yes, it's on its way. It hasn't arrived yet, but it's on its way. That's why I've heard of it. Yeah, William Raider emailed me to say, did I want it, and could he send it for review? So I can smell it. You can smell it. Stephen Bright did it. I thought it was a dark-haired guy. I know Stephen's got dark hair. Somebody that was on Justin Michael's channel. I'm sure that's the creator. Um, wow, I remembered something. What did you remember, Deanne? Why don't you pull a card from Wild Spirit Tarot? I would have to try and find it in this lot. It will be somewhere in this lot, but we can always do that next week. I'll dig it out. I'll dig it out. Oh, Stephen wrote the book. Oh, maybe I didn't remember if it's not Stephen. Alejandro Rosen. Yes, that's it. Alejandro Rosen. And he was on Justin Michael's channel being interviewed, and that's how I first knew about the deck. Um, yeah. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any questions, so I think I'll do a card pull, and then get off and have some tea and relax my shoulder. Oh, Giselle's tempted to trim. I've got both versions, trimmed and untrimmed, because it was a deck that I love, so I wanted a backup copy of. But it was one of the first decks I ever trimmed, and when I did the Throwback Thursday, and Poppy was in the chat when I did Throwback Thursday, I showed the trimmed version. And I'm always a bit nervous about that. I can remember when I interviewed Patrick Valenza, and I says, how do you feel about, people modifying decks or your work? And he was like, absolutely fine. Once it's left me and it's with you, it's yours. You're leaving. I just got a fresh cuppa. I didn't get any questions. Nobody wants to know anything. I think you know everything. That's why. After 6 years of being on YouTube, Deanne's brewing as we speak. Oh, look at the sound these make. Okay, I need to focus. I'm reading comments while shuffling. Okay. A card for the collective. Oh, we've got the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. Okay, so a message for us. This is a card it's about moving on, isn't it? It's about walking away from situations that no longer serve us. And by that, I mean, no longer give us joy, things that probably hold us back, or situations that might be a little bit toxic, or when we're around those situations, that could be people or places, or, we don't feel that we're either being appreciated, valued, or living our best lives. It might have been great for a time, but it's time to reevaluate. It's a time to just walk away. But as we're walking away, I think it gives us an opportunity to really go within. It's a card that's about transition. So reevaluate our lives, reevaluate what's important to us. If that's no longer serving us, then why is it no longer serving us? So before we go into this new direction, really consider A, what is important to us now? What will bring us joy? What will help us to grow and develop? And then focus on that. What is it that we really want to do? What is it we want to achieve? We know now that we're not going to get it in the situation that we find ourselves in. So to go on that journey of self-discovery, that's a journey that's inwards. But also, if we're moving into a new direction, once we've really got to that sense of who we are and what we want, then it's about focusing. But I think the key message really is, before we go where we're going, reevaluate what's important to us. Why doesn't this serve us anymore? That journey of self-discovery is just as important as any other journey, particularly any other physical journey. This is a couple that's about emotions as well. What do we attach our emotions to? What is it that holds us back? And then go for your dreams. It's never ever too late, no matter where you are or what you do or what you're doing currently. It's never too late to change direction. You've got to be able to want it. Okay, anything else before I head off? Let's have a look at some last minute comments. That's one of the decks I blame on you, Simon. The Throwback Thursday sold me on the enchantment. Oh, that's good, Elizabeth. Sluggo says, there's something about your presence that's very calming. Well, thank you. Simon, I wonder if you could demo how you read dominoes. I will do a video on it because it's really hard. I don't have on StreamYard. I know it can be done because I've seen other people do it, but I'm a bit of a technophobe. But I don't have the ability to flick to a downward camera. But that could be a video idea. So thank you. It's a big coffee day today. In January. Tell me about it. January and February. I can't wait to get through them. I know we shouldn't rush our lives away, but January and February. I'm always like, it's March. I want some hot chocolate. Thank you for another CC&C. Hope your shoulder feels better. Thank you, Caroline. Hugs to everybody. Thank you for the live. You're welcome. I'm going to throw some pics up on the page of egg decks with Prismacolors in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. That would be great, Vanessa, if you could. That'd be really good. Giselle says, Simon, sorry I'm not here more, but I agree you are good medicine. I understand totally, Giselle, and you're welcome anytime anyway. And just remember, anytime you want to reach out, do. That's what little bros are for. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's been lovely to catch up with you. Sorry it's a bit shorter than usual this week, but it is just starting to twinge a bit more now. So I am going to head off. But yeah, have a fantastic weekend wherever you are, whether it's Sunday where you are already or you're just starting your Saturday. Have a fab weekend, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.